Hey folks, this is Mary. Welcome back to my channel. This is day 19 of 30 Blue Ink's 30 days. And my phone had a hissy fit in the middle of me filming today's video, so I think it's all gone. So let's have a little recap. Alright, so, pardon me. I was able to go back to the Norfolk Stationery, and instead of trading in the bottle of Tanzanite, instead of trading in the bottle of Onyx for the bottle of Tanzanite, I decided to just purchase the bottle of Onyx. So now I have these two inks. These are my second and third Pelikan Edelstein inks. And if you look at these bottles, these inks look identical. So it was no wonder I didn't notice when I picked up the wrong ink. So I decided to swatch both of them. And here is the Onyx, which is still drying. And here is the Tanzanite. Now, honestly, the Tanzanite seems darker than the Onyx. I was thinking the Onyx was black, but it's looking very gray with maybe some undertones of brown. And the Tanzanite is looking like a blue-black, and it seems to have a lot of red sheen. The Tanzanite went on very wet. As you can see from the large dark area, the ink just ran all over the place. And the Onyx was very dry. I was trying to do my little drip, and I just got a blob. So, very different inks, both very dark inks, both very interesting inks. So those were the swatches. And, oh my goodness, excuse me. I'm just having a rough day. It's okay. My fountain pens will help me get through. Okay, so here is the writing sample that I did on my Clairefontaine paper. And it's been very rainy here in Virginia all week, and I had the windows open, so it was kind of damp. And it's made my book curl, so I'm going to have to put that under something heavy to help flatten that out. But you could see here, I was writing with the Pelikan Edelstein Tanzanite ink, and it is very, very dark. If you like your blue inks really dark, then this might be the ink for you. And kind of a, well, not too wet of a smear. And I am using my Sheaffer R2-D2 pen, which I think is just adorable. I love Star Wars, I love R2-D2, it's a Sheaffer. What is not to love about this pen? Ooh, and let me show you the nib. I've just gotten into vintage pens, and I have, do I have two Sheaffers? I can't remember. But I was thinking, you know, I need to get a Sheaffer nib so I can use the Sheaffer nib. I have two of these different Star Wars pens, so I started off with two Sheaffer nibs, but now I have some vintage Sheaffer nibs. And I think they're just beautiful, and they write really well. The old ones and the new ones. Alright, so moving on. We are going to talk about some swatch cards. And I was just wrestling with my little ring of swatch cards here when my camera died. So these are my homemade cards with my lovely homemade little end papers on them. They're kind of sad looking. I made these out of an old cereal box, but anyway, it serves its purpose. And then of course these are the cards that I made out of the watercolor paper. If you haven't seen my Make Your Own Swatch Cards video, please check that one out. And I also mentioned that Sarah over at Fountain Pen Insanity told me about a website called the Fountain Pen Companion. And that is a place where you can keep track of your pens and inks. I have been trying to enter my inks into a Google Sheet like I have seen several other people do, and I just couldn't do it. It was just intimidating and overwhelming, and I couldn't do it. But she told me about this website, so I checked out the Fountain Pen Companion, and I have entered nearly all of my bottles and a tiny sampling of my samples. I still have many, many, many samples to go, but nearly all of my bottles are in there, so that's very exciting, and I will leave a link to my list below if you would like to check that out. So anyway, these are the swatch cards for my bottles. Many, many inks here, and I am going to look for my blue blacks to compare with our lovely Tanzanite ink today, and I will probably need to edit this video down because nobody wants to watch me struggle through my swatch cards. But let's see. I'm almost there. Here we go. Okay. Woo! So, here is our friend, Mr. Tanzanite. And I do apologize for the light. I've got this little lamp here, but I think it is just too harsh. What do you think? Is that too much? I think that's too much. Okay, sorry, bud. All right, so let's see what we've got here. This is Private Reserve Ebony Blue, and I've shown this one before. It's ebony blue, but I think it looks very green. It's definitely more of a teal than a blue. And here is Mnemosyne Pleiades Blue Black. And I think that's much closer in tone to today's ink. But the Tanzanite seems to have much more sheen. I think the blue black is, I don't want to say it's a plainer ink, but this is the one that's supposed to be the great shader. Now here is Waterman Mysterious Blue. And that's in the same ballpark as the Pleiades Blue Black. A bit lighter though, but that's very interesting. Again, these Waterman colors are just fabulous. If you've never tried Waterman, they are not the stuffy old ink company that people say they are. Alright, here is Diamine Blue Black. Much, much lighter than today's ink, but still some nice sheen on this one. Here is Pilot Iroshizuku Shinkai. Again, the same ballpark, but I think lighter. And again, this one, the Tanzanite, has much heavier sheen to it. Here is Pilot Iroshizuku Tsukiyo, which isn't really a blue-black, but yeah, it's not really a blue-black. Alright, here is Noodler's Midnight Blue, and that is a super dark ink, but it looks much bluer compared to the Tanzanite. The Tanzanite has that blue-black tone that makes it look almost gray. It's kind of a dark gray with a blue shade to it. But they both have some beautiful sheen. This Midnight Blue is just a gorgeous color. I love it. Alright, and finally we have Private Reserve Midnight Blues. Another beautiful dark blue. As I mentioned, I've really been enjoying the darker blues this month. But definitely much bluer than the Tanzanite. So let's see, who do we think is close here? We've got the Shinkai, and wow, I think the Tanzanite is kind of in a class all his own. Very interesting. So yeah, he's definitely a unique color. And I don't know how I feel about Mr. Tanzanite. After all I went through to get this ink, and I'm not sure how I feel about it, but that's okay. That's why we have these experiments, and we learn about inks, we try out different inks, we compare our inks, and that's half the fun. So that will wrap it up for today, and I hope you enjoyed this video, even though it was the truncated version, and hopefully I will be able to get my phone straightened out soon. Ah, technology. It's a blessing and a curse. But that is all for today, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, please give me a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing if you would like to see more of my videos. And I hope to see you again tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.